1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Good morning, Ingrid. A new week in the asylum. Quite inspiring so far, I must say. A visit by the police, the fire brigade and the bomb squad. But before I forget, you need to order a sign with my name on it for my parking space in the ambulance entrance. I ran into a paramedic today. He questioned my right to park my BMW in the ambulance entrance. Poor man. Has a problem with authority, obviously. Well, we sorted out that little dispute. Shall we make it in black with golden letters? The sign, I mean. Dr. Sigge, Chief of Psychiatry, will do. And now I will dictate an entry on the first patient of today, Darius Lukic, Social Security number 720312C03. Social anamnesis, originally from Ljubljana. His wife and parents still living there. No children. Still waiting for the immigration court to make a decision concerning his application for permanent residency in this country. Worked as a legal attorney in his native country.
Good morning to you, Doctor. Our first patient, Darius Lukic, will be with you shortly.
Yeah. Continuing, medical anamnesis, well-known patient at this psychiatric clinic, diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia 3 months after his arrival in May 2013. No record of psychiatric illness in Ljubljana, and no record of drug abuse. Currently under medication with 5 milligram risperidone. Dr. Olofsson is the patient's attending psychiatrist in the outpatient clinic. A new paragraph, current situation. The patient visited this psychiatric emergency room 2 days ago. He was psychotic and needed hospital care, but the clinic was overcrowded. Mr. Lukic came back to the emergency room this morning, soon followed by a platoon of police officers and firefighters. They were under the command of Police Captain Stevenson. The emergency dispatcher had received a bomb threat concerning these premises. Yours truly found out that the call came from Mr. Lukic's mobile phone. Obviously a desperate cry for help to get hospitalized and thereby get rid of his demons. Constable Stevenson came to realize this fact after a brief discussion. The police, however, will want to interrogate Mr. Lukic at a later point of time. Darius, welcome. Have a seat. Well, Darius, you will be with us at least a few days. We have 2 purposes with your stay here. First, we will put you on antipsychotic medicines with depot injections. This will be instead of the pills that I suspect that you're not using on a regular basis anyhow. Marita will administer the first injection later today, after we have drawn blood samples to determine the level of risperidone in your blood.
And the blood samples are being analyzed in the lab now.
Excellent.
Injections? How much?
Not much at all. Only 1.5 milliliters of trilofone, Doctor.
Yes. 1.5 milliliters of 10-342 hydroxyethyl 1-piperonyl propyl 2-chlorphentheazine every 2 weeks, starting today. And also 2 milligrams of risperidone tablets for 1 week until we have reached equilibrium in your blood.
These are the pills that you are used to, Darius, okay?
Marvelous. It seems I'm a redundant, or shall I say needless, resource with a nurse like Marita in the house.
Oh, nonsense, doctor.
I don't like needles. It's big.
Not at all. You won't feel much. Is the voice there now?
Yes, it's mostly at night.
That must be hard for you. We all need our sleep to feel better. The medicine will reduce the voice and you will feel better, Darius, okay?
Okay, I trust you, Marita.
How about that, Marita? Maybe our next chief of psychiatry is a nurse. Wouldn't you like to have Sigge's office and his salary when he retires?
Can't you give me a pill every 2 weeks instead?
Unfortunately not. This medicine is only available as an injection. But the injections are not painful. Here, let me show you. That's not painful, is it, Dr. Tom? A second purpose with your stay here. We will check out the condition in your abdomen. What have you swallowed this time? Is it batteries again?
No. Yes.
And how big are they?
I don't know.
Well, Dr. Tom will examine you from top to bottom. And after that, an X-ray examination will be in order, just for all eventualities. Dr. Tom, will you finish my dictation on this patient?
Certainly.
I don't want to go to the police station. I want to stay here. Can you please talk to the police?
We will help you in your contact with the legal authorities, not to worry. But if you pay regular visits to your doctor and your nurse in the outpatient clinic, you won't have to talk to the police about bomb threats again in the future. And your stomach will feel better too. We will have talks about motivation, you and I, Darius. We have plenty of time now that you're here.
Okay, doctor, can I please go to the toilet now?
Good thinking, Darius. First things first. Let us know if something hard falls into the toilet bowl. In that case, we would like to have a look at it.
I have been a bit constipated lately. Is that bad?
No.
Motivation?
I mean batteries and such.
Okay.
The toilet is right in the corridor to the left. I will be right with you, Darius, okay? So, speech therapy, you say?
Yep. I recently attended a course in motivational interviewing. Fascinating.
And it works on psychotic patients too?
I didn't think so myself at first, but the scientific study reports convinced me. These are expensive and cause side effects. But talk is cheap and harmless. I'll make a bet with you, Marita. After I've had only 3 talks with Darius, he won't make bomb threats or swallow batteries ever again.
Tempting, but I would not dare betting against you on a nurse's salary. So what does Sigge say about all of this?
Sigge is old-fashioned, you know that. But one day even Sigge will realize that the resources in the healthcare system are limited and always will be. The politicians will never fully open the plug to the vault with the taxpayers' money. Speech therapy makes the most of the resources within the patient. These belong in the past and speech therapy is the future. Maybe Sigge doesn't realize this, but I bet you that our next chief of psychiatry does. Wouldn't you say?
Sweets. How are you today, Siri? You don't look well at all.
Working double shifts, you know. Or how would you know? You're a man.
So today you come here to the emergency ward. You've lost contact with the outpatient clinic, I take it.
You could say that. They refused to let me go through an ADHD investigation unless my drug tests are negative for at least 3 months in a row. They seem to assume that I use amphetamine for fun. I use it to be able to concentrate, to function at work. I need Concerta to stay off the speed, but Dr. Sundstedt won't prescribe any ADHD medicine to me until I'm diagnosed with ADHD. So...
Can they do anything else for you?
Dr. Sundstedt wants to put me on tranquilizers, diazepam, to calm me down, but I won't touch that stuff. I may be a drug addict, but I'm not a pill abuser.
So, you need to stay clean from drugs for 3 months, and you need help to accomplish that? Am I correct? Well, there is a very good rehab institution in the countryside outside Sävsjö. They have excellent personnel and a stable with horses, actually. You could stay there for 3 months and do the ADHD investigation there.
Excuse me, doctor, but who is going to finance my stay there? I've asked the social services in my town to let me go to rehab during summer when schools closed, but no. I have really tried, believe me.
Yes, and you still live in Partille. I see. No help there. What else can I do for you?
I really need to keep my day job, but I'm afraid that I'm going to lose it. I don't know what to do. I can't go on like this much longer.
So you still keep 2 jobs to finance your drug abuse?
Yes.
Okay, have a seat on the examining table. Normally Nurse Marita does these things, you know. Thank you. Please. Say ah.
Ah.
Thank you. And look at me. Look at me. Thank you. Take a deep breath. Once more. Thank you. So please lie down. No, on your back, on your back.
Oh.
And sit up again, please. So, do you have the flu, Siri?
I don't know. I haven't been well for weeks.
Do you inject the amphetamine? Do you work without protection? Okay, have a seat. You suffer from an infection, so you need to stay with us for a couple of days at least, and we need to collect blood samples, all necessary blood samples, that is.
But I can't stay here, Dr. Sigge. I will lose my day job. I have nothing if I lose my job.
I will put you on sick leave. In the certificate I will write a possible tick-borne Borrelia infection. They won't ask any compromising questions at the school.
So, what happens now?
You will provide us with urine tox samples daily or when we randomly ask for it. You will not leave the ward without personnel accompanying you, and you will have no visitors the first 10 days. You will of course suffer from withdrawal symptoms, and we will provide you with tranquilizers, not diazepam obviously. You will use medicaments only provided by us. These are my terms. Agreed? Now Nurse Marita will take care of you.
Thank you.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Morning.
Good morning.
I'm going to court this afternoon. Jadwiga's compulsory psychiatric care needs to be extended for another 4 weeks. Do you have anything to add?
No, I'm sure you can manage that perfectly well.
I really like your hat. I always thought that it looks good on you.
So it does.
Can I see it?
Why?
No reason. There's a betting game going on in the clinic. Almost everyone is involved. There's a lot of money at stake. Well, as I said, I really like your hat. Is it made in Germany?
This hat is manufactured in Bavaria.
Ah, Bavaria. Is that in Germany?
Yes, it is.
Ah, thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Ingrid. You can delete an intern by the name of Linus from the list of holiday employees. He showed up for work in the emergency room today. And Dr. Tom recommended him to keep his bicycle helmet on, since bombs might be detonating on the hospital today. The young doctor did not appreciate the information, had to leave early, he said. No sense of humor. Obviously not cut out to be a psychiatrist. You must come by my room on your way home and have a taste of the sweets from the new vending machine. Yes, it has finally arrived. A very fine piece of machinery. Delicious sweets. The head of the hospital, Asbjørn, forgot his last name, was quite upset. Poor little man, he doesn't understand that I'm in my position as chief of psychiatry. I'm fully capable of ordering and endorsing the invoice of such a machine. In due time, he will learn how things are done around here. Well, enough of this chit-chat, back to work. This patient, I think you remember, she came to see me on an emergency consultation today. Siri Anderson, social security number. Good morning. And you are?
Christopher. The food in this place is unedible. I'm gonna have to make a complaint.
An adequate intake of calories requires a good self-perception, which for some of us isn't easy to come by. Maybe a few motivational talks with Dr. Tom could change that.
Dr. Tom would be a busy man indeed. Staff in the kitchen here is not the only personnel that lacks self-perception and motivation. Bomb threats, poorly executed evacuations. I wonder what comes next. A nuclear attack or a full-on mental breakdown from the staff.
What I mean is that a little less food on the plate hardly would cause any harm in your case.
I am allergic to gluten, wheat protein. It gives me gases. I need my special diet and the nurses keep ignoring my needs. And besides, I need to eat alone because of my indigestion. So could you just go away for 30 minutes and then come back and do whatever it is that you do?
Feel free to eat in your own room.
Next to my bed? No. Dr. Tom has specifically instructed me not to eat in the same room where I sleep. It's a special strategy to deal with my insomnia. I have problems sleeping, you see. Well, I can clearly see that you're not interested in my problems. No one in this hospital cares about my angst. The mental health authorities is going to find out about this. Just you wait. I have everything documented right here. Whose office is this anyway? Looks like a museum from the 70s.
Yes, I agree. This room must belong to someone whose soul got lost in the 1970s. The decade when a nurse did her job for no other pay than 3 meals a day and a bed in the staff's quarters. The secretary ironed the doctor's shirt every evening. The nurses and patients stood in attention when the doctor entered the ward on the morning rounds. Lobotomy was still a legal practice. And there was no such thing as a front-wheel driven BMW. Only rear-wheel driven ones. Real cars, the 1970s. Never to return.
Ah, Christopher, there you are. Your lunch is best enjoyed out here in the day room with the other patients. I'm sure that this gentleman has a ton of work to do. But be sure to finish your lunch in 20 minutes. At 1 o'clock I will see you for a check-in consultation. Chop chop.
Ah, Dr. Tom. Feel free to start up Christopher in sessions later today. Speech therapy and that sort. And I think we should offer Christopher the whole package concerning personality issues. Bada bing, bada boo, Betty boop. I see that things in the emergency ward are quite calm today, Karima. Has it all covered? I will do the follow-up on pharmaceutical with Christopher myself. Okay? Is Marita Christopher's nurse?
Question number 1, yes indeed. Question number 2, affirmative.
Is this a hospital or kindergarten? I want another doctor.
You've just got one. My name is Dr. Siegfried Gunter, and I'm chief of psychiatry in this hospital. I will provide you with my card to make sure that you spell my name correctly in your little report there. Good day.
Thank you, doctor. Can I come back in 30 minutes after lunch, maybe?
This way to the restaurant, sir.
Hello. Yes, very well. Well, not until we reach break-even. Then it's time to react. Thank you. Good day.
You are breathing deeply, using your abdominal muscles. Every time you exhale, you become more and more relaxed. Your body becomes more and more heavy, lying in the green grass. You can hear the wind blowing in the trees above your head. You can smell the strong scent from the flowers all around you. Maybe you can feel a bug tickling your skin. When I count from 5 to 0, you will slowly wake up your body and return to the clinic. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Time for lunch?
Okay, I'll be right there.
I'm ready. I think we should offer Stefan a combination of massage therapy and hypnosis.
What?
Well, you know, he's depressed and he's a smoker. So, 2 strikes in a blow. What do you think?
Time for lunch, Siri.
I already had lunch.
You don't have to do that, Siri. There are staff who do it several times per week.
Oh, I don't mind, but I wouldn't want to offend anyone.
No problem. They won't be offended. In this line of medicine, creativity is still allowed. Thank God. So, what do you think? Massage therapy and hypnosis.
Oh, I'm perfectly fine. I just had my massage last week.
Okay, good for you.
You are 3 minutes early.
That's okay.
Right, so with regards to my diet, because the thing is,
I've seen in your charts that you're quite experienced in financial investing strategies. Perhaps you could give me a tip or two.
that's not fair, Doctor. I was naive and my business partners were greedy. It's not my fault that I was convicted of fraud in court. I have to say, none of you are making me feel very welcome here.
You won't be staying here for long. You have a well-established contact with Dr. Alfström and his staff at the outpatient clinic. But now that you are here, we have an excellent opportunity to do some adjustments in the pharmaceutical burden that now lies heavily on your liver. Starting today, we will lessen that burden considerably.
Finally, a real doctor. I never understood why Dr. Alfström had me prescribed on all these medications. It really can't be good for you. It can be quite dangerous, actually. I've read about it on the internet.
I'm glad you agree with me, but we mustn't forget that the reason for your arrival here to the emergency ward in an ambulance was a medical intoxication. 100 milligram diazepam, 50 milligram olanzapine, and 37.5 milligrams Supiclone. That's quite a mouthful of tablets. And this has happened before.
Because I was suffering from severe angst because of a gross miscarriage of justice.
Can you please recall the last period of, say, a month's time when you were feeling well and free from angst? Take a good look into your memory.
I really can't remember. Must have been ages ago.
I understand. You have been prescribed a numerous amount of psychiatric medicines for the last 12 years. Still, you haven't been feeling well for as long as you can remember. I agree with you. Medicines are not the solutions to your problems. This is what we'll do. One of your mood stabilizers, carbamazepine, will be deleted from the list. Olanzapine will be reduced to 10 milligrams daily. We will administer it at 8 p.m. This will help you sleep. Furthermore, you are on 40 milligram diazepam. I am happy to announce to you that the dosage when you are dismissed from this clinic will be this.
But you can't do that. My body is used to this dose. This dose. Dr. Alstrom has been prescribing me this dose for years. You can't just take that away. Well, you do whatever it is that you're going to do, but when I get out of here, Dr. Alstrom is still going to be my doctor.
As your present doctor, I'm obligated to provide you with care according to scientific standards. If I prescribe you medicines like a simple charlatan, I violate the Hippocratic Oath. I will have a talk with Dr. Alstrom and explain these matters to him. 37.5 milligrams diazepam starting tomorrow.
Hippo and oat. What is this, a veterinary clinic or something? You're going to make me sick, you know. Your experiments is going to make me sick. And if I hurt myself, it's going to be on you. It's going to be your responsibility. I am going to make a full documentation of all of this. And Nurse Marita here is my witness. In case I don't survive.
Here is my card, just as I promised. I will see you again for a little talk the day after tomorrow. Happened.
I happen to like my job. Working with people, for people. What is it with you doctors? All you see is money.
What's the price on this one? Well, we'll sell at 24.2. Thank you. Excellent.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Darius, welcome. Have a seat.
Please, doctor, you must not dismiss me from the ward. I want to stay here.
You're feeling better now and you don't want to stay forever, right?
No, but I am
We'll get
not-
back to that in a minute, Darius. I believe these belong to you. Do you feel a pain in your belly now?
No, not anymore. It wasn't my own doing when I swallowed them. I wanted to kill him. I wanted to die. I didn't know what I was doing because I was insane.
Tell me, Darius, what would have happened had you swallowed batteries like these instead?
They would have stuck in my intestines and that would have killed me.
So, you chose to swallow small batteries instead of big ones. Why is that if you wanted to die?
Big. I wanted to live.
You wanted to live. Good. You called the emergency dispatcher who sent you an ambulance. Why do you think you made that call?
Because I needed help.
Exactly. You should have been admitted to the hospital 2 days before. I'm sorry that you weren't admitted that evening. The ward was overcrowded. But you had a plan, Darius. You swallowed the batteries and you called for an ambulance because you wanted help. An insane person he does things without knowing what he's doing or why. Are you insane, Darius?
No, I'm not insane, but he was.
Is he in there now?
No.
Did you hear his voice last night?
No, I'm okay.
2 days ago, you were in such a bad shape that you had to swallow batteries and dial the number 112. And now you're okay. How come, Darius?
Because of the medicines.
So the medicines do you some good, is that correct? When you had been without the medicines for a while, you could feel him torment you inside. But still you were able to make a plan to get help. You suffer from schizophrenia, but you're not insane. Are you with me? You're a man with a strong motivation to get help when you need help. Let's take a look at your alternatives in this situation. Your plan, put you in a hospital bed. Check. But also, the police will want to talk to you when you leave this hospital. Why is that, Darius?
Because I called about the bomb.
Bear with me now, Darius. Just a few more questions. Why did you call about the bomb?
Because I needed help. Because he tormented me in here.
So you're not a terrorist. That's nice. You simply wanted to make a point that you needed help to get rid of the person inside you that I call a delusion. Could you have chosen to do something else before things got so bad that you had to swallow batteries, call for an ambulance, and then call the police about a bomb?
I guess I could have taken my medicines. But I stopped taking them when I feel okay.
During these last 12 months, you've been a guest in this hospital
4 times.
4 times. Do you need to take your medicines even when you feel fine?
Yes.
And what can you do to make sure that you take your meds also when you feel fine?
I could go to the outpatient clinic.
So, you are going to stay in contact with the outpatient clinic. How often are you going there?
Twice a week.
Good. From now on, you will be given depot injections in the outpatient clinic every 2nd week. But you will go there twice a week so that the nurse can make sure that you're okay. In fact, I will see you in the outpatient clinic myself. We will have talks like these on a regular basis, you and I. And if we stick to this plan, I'm confident that we can eventually lower the dose of the trillophone and still make sure that the guy in there keeps his mouth shut. Okay?
Okay.
Now, there will be a police inquiry. Since you made that call and the police, the bomb squad and the fire brigade got involved. But try not to worry. You suffer from a psychiatric illness, and the judge will be pleased to hear that you're going to visit the outpatient clinic twice a week. Any questions, Darius?
No, doctor. Thank you.
Thank you, Darius. I'll see you again a couple of times before you go home.
Okay.
I'm beginning to think that I was wise not to make that bet with you, Dr. Tom. Maybe you could have a little motivational talk with Kurt as well.
Kurt? What about Kurt?
He had this urine catheter safely inserted in his bladder and everything was going fine until he decided to pull it out himself with the balloon still inflated.
Uh-oh.
Excuse my language, but this must have hurt like hell.
Ah, Marita. Are you assisting Dr. Tom with his prosthetic problems? That's very kind of you. Well, there you are. But be certain to deflate the balloon before you insert it into someone's holy pole like this. Unless you want to remove his prostate permanently. That is.
Marita just told me that Kurt pulled out his catheter himself this morning, with the balloon still inflated.
Yes, I asked if Dr. Tom could sit in a few sessions with Kurt. Cognitive and motivational talk, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'll be talking about Kurt Nielsen with severe dementia. Well, it's wonderful, Marita, that you have such faith in my dear colleague Tom. But who do you think he is? Jesus? No, double Kurt's dose of Haldol.
Will do, Doctor. Greetings from Annalena. It seems like somehow you doctors again forgot to put some money in the coffee cash box. For last month and for the month before that, only 50 per month, gentlemen.
You tell Annalena that being doctors we don't have time to take coffee breaks. Unlike the rest of the staff, our demanding work prevents us from such luxuries. Our minds are never resting, mind you.
Okay, I will just put it over here.
Yes, thank you.
Bam. Well, I would like to ask Darwin where it all will end. I remember the days when a man was served coffee without having to pay for it. And I thought women wanted to eradicate prostitution. Strange creatures. How do you figure, Jesus?
I think we have to watch out. The day that sperms can be produced in a test tube, we will be an eradicated species. Besides, whoever constructed us did a mistake in the plumbing. My prostate has caused me nothing but problems lately, and I'm not the only one. I take a piss 6 times a day, and each visit to the loo lasts at least 10 minutes. I envy the women, I must say. Speaking of women, young Dr. Karima is a rising star. This morning she taught a lesson to one of our most senior colleagues in internal medicine.
Professor Lind?
Mm-hmm.
Speak up.
Well, Lind came to one of our wards as a consultant. He examined Abeko and then instructed us to order an ultrasound of his liver and run a dozen of blood tests. Abeko has a serum bilirubin of 35, but his regular liver status and blood status are all normal. So Karima told the professor that an isolated increase of bilirubin does not need to be investigated further.
Mm-hmm.
It's the harmless condition Gilbert syndrome, quite common in the African population.
She told him that?
Mm-hmm. She also told him that if he insisted that it was necessary, we would be happy to order the ultrasound of the liver and run all the blood tests he wanted, but his clinic would be billed for the cost. Now she's got balls, I'm telling you.
As I must say, which we must watch out for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Emphasize the necessity of sperms in the world.
So, time for a talk with Siri. I saw her both this morning and yesterday working out in the gym on the ground floor.
Mm-hmm. No, that will have to wait. But I hear that the clearing of Christopher's medicaments are going just as planned.
Almost too good, actually. We have reduced his dose of diazepam to 0 in only 1 week, but still, he shows no sign of withdrawal symptoms whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. He probably hasn't been using them at all, selling diazepam on the street, making good money. I've had a little talk with Dr. Alstrom in the patient clinic. I have for a while suspected that our dear colleague makes a little money on the side prescribing narcotic drugs.
And you told him that?
Yes, of course. There will be an inquiry, and Christopher will have to do his shopping elsewhere in the future. He will be dismissed from this ward tomorrow, no later. There is no further indication for hospital care in this case. Our work is done. Understood.
Okay.
Any more consultations for today? Thank you for your generous donations, doctors.
Yes, thank you so much. But now I have an important telephone call. No more patients today. Yes, sell the lot. 20,000 shares. Splendid. Dr. Gunther speaking. My patient, Carl Wilhelmsen? Or it depends on who's asking. Inspector Jorgensen. Just one moment, Inspector. Inspector. Good morning to you. Yes, but no, I'm not on a construction site. I'm not on a circus either. And I'm not fond of guessing games. I believe that's your line of work, Inspector. You mentioned Carl Wilhelmsen, yes. What about him? You have him confessed for a murder? 2 murders? The gang-related double shooting last week? As I can confirm, he's a patient of mine. Secondly, I can say that he's a pathological liar, constantly seeking attention. And third, no gang on this earth would have him on his payroll. He's afraid of the dark, and when the sun shines, he is afraid of his own shadow. Good luck with your murder chase, Inspector. Thank you.
Here you go.
How are you today, Siri?
Okay, I guess. As long as you put up with me.
We have no objections to you being here. You've been very active during your stay here. How is your sleep?
Not so good. I'm having difficulties getting up in the morning. I fall asleep late at night. The night staff must be fed up with me. How long will I be staying here, doctor?
Well, I have 3 pieces of news for you. 2 of them are good and 1 is not so good.
Tell me the bad news first.
Well, you are infected with hepatitis C. In your case, probably sexually transmitted. But nowadays, there is a medical treatment that can delete the virus. However, It is associated with severe painful side effects, and you need to stay off narcotics at least 3 months prior to the treatment.
Is that the only bad news?
Yes, you're not infected by HIV. Well, we have been observing you during your stay here, and further investigation is not necessary. You're now diagnosed with ADHD, and I will put you on medicaments. Well, you haven't heard it all yet. We will start off with Strattera. This is not a type of synthetic amphetamine, and thus my first drug of choice.
But I thought that Concerta was the recommended first drug of choice for ADHD patients.
Not in my ward. Recommendations are just recommendations.
And if Strattera doesn't work?
If we don't see satisfactory results in 2 weeks, I will put you on centrally stimulating Concerta, but not a day before.
Can I take a leave of absence from the ward?
No. Oh. You're well aware of the terms for your stay here. So far, you've done good. All your urine tox screens have been negative. If you bugger this one up, you're free to take a leave of absence from this ward. For good. Happen. Ah, Dr. Simon. Have you saved any lives today?
Only one.
Oh, speak up, young man.
I met this woman outside, smoking a cigarette.
Anyone we know?
No, I haven't seen her before. Around 25 years old, dark hair, and well built up her body.
A patient?
No, she was just passing by. And she told me that she got a son my age. She looked me over and asked if my dad works here. I cried a bit and said no. I said he's dead.
Excuse me?
I said he was a smoker and died from lung cancer.
That your dad, Dr. Tom? He's not a smoker and he's most certainly alive, I hope. You lied to the young woman, Simon?
She threw away her cigarette and said that she had decided to quit smoking for good. Maybe I lied a little, but I saved the woman's life.
Well, well, well.
No cancer. Good for you, Dr. Sigge. But your lungs sound old. You must go and find yourself a woman before it's too late. Dr. Simon's orders.
Forget it. Women are not to be trusted. Take my word for that. Continuing dictation on today's first patient. From what I read in the outpatient clinic charts, the patient had visited Hello, yes, Dr. Gunter. That's Rachel, yes. But this is Dr. Gunter's personal line. You have to reach him on another line. But your work out, indeed. Yes, do, please. visit, which was what, a few weeks ago, I could see. Hello? Hello, yes? Ah, Nurse Rachel. Yes, what can I do for Nurse Rachel on a beautiful day like this? Mm-hmm. Yes, I understand. Mm-hmm. This is what we'll do. Give him 100 milligram of Cisoda. Yes, 100 milligrams. Not in tablets. No, an injection. Not of course. I thought you said he's moving the furniture. That's us. It's fastest way through bloodstream. If you get my name. Okay.
Good day. Listen to this. A baker's test results. On special request from Professor Lin.
Simon. Patient stuff, confidential, you know.
They all came back normal.
Can you get us some coffee, please?
Window.
Karima, the professor, game, set and match. Nah. Hepatitis B, virus, antigen and antibodies negative. ASAT, ALAT, ALP. Bilirubin was 35, yes. Albumin, alpha fetoprotein. Yes. Ah. Thank you. No. Where was that? Alpha fetoprotein, ANA. What's that anyway? ANF, IgM. Creatinine. Whew. This must have cost him a fortune. ANF, SMA, AMA.
And what about your own test results? Have you checked out your PSA level? And you need a rectal exam too.
Big prostate run in my family. We get them early in life. I have it all under control. But what is AMA? I'm completely forgot.
Anti-mitochondrial antibodies.
Oh yeah.
And you have what under control? You have it under control when you know exactly what it is. Well, probably it is nothing, but the sooner the better.
Okay, if it'll make you happy.
Don't do it for me, do it for him. I'll give you 1 week to make an appointment with our colleagues on the in the urology clinic. And then I will personally ask Karima to do the rectal.
Karima?
Unless you want to do it yourself. Personally, I've long forgotten the difference of a colon, a urinary bladder, a prostate, a piriformis muscle. Well, clearly see that we have something here, yes. We have the uterus, the cradle of life.
Uterus?
She is so beautiful, you know.
Are you okay?
Never felt better. Never felt better. But there is something I must do. I'll leave you in charge. Thank you. You know, your son saved a life today.
He did?
I'll tell you about it. He'll tell you about it.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Dariush. I've talked to the nurse in outpatient clinic and you can go and see her tomorrow. Now, if you just give me your arm, you will be out of here in no time. There's a police officer in the corridor who wants to talk to you.
Can I stay here for 1 more week? Please, Nurse Marita, I can't go to the police. I don't feel well. There's something you need to know.
You'll be fine, Doris. Sometimes I just don't know what to do with you, Doris. Maybe a little talk with the gentleman in blue will help. He's all yours, Constable. Make sure he visits the bathroom on a regular basis. He's a bit constipated. Dr. Sigge has set Christopher's diazepam dose to 0. He's quite upset. Christopher, I mean. Do you want Sigge to sit in on this talk?
Nope. I'll explain things to Christopher. No problem.
And Dr. Sigge said that Christopher shall be dismissed today. Nothing more we can do for him. It's better to give his bed to another patient.
Of course, Marita, no problem. Let's see what some speech therapy can do for this patient. Ah, Christopher, welcome. Have a seat. This is Dr. Karima. You've been with us for a week and a half now, and we think that things are going in the right direction for you.
Oh, you do you? Because you've taken away all my medicines. Because of you, I'm suffering. And Dr. Ofston won't prescribe me any diazepam anymore. And now you want to send me home, right? You want to give my bed to some junkie? This is a hospital. I have the right to stay here. I have the right to proper medication.
Well, if you will become affected by angst, I suggest that you try breathing with your abdomen, just as Nurse Marita has taught you. Much better than chemicals. You have to believe that you're strong, Christopher, without the diazepam. Let's practice together. Visualize a green field in summertime. Green grass and beautiful flowers.
I've read my medical charts. You say here that I don't suffer from angst. But you've written personality disorder in here. Emotionally unstable, narcissist, antisocial behaviour. What the hell does that mean? And why won't you give me my diazepam when obviously I've every illness in the book?
It simply means that you do not suffer from a psychiatric illness. Your problems are more on a personality level. So medicines are not the solution in your case. But I'll be happy to see you on a regular basis in speech therapy in the outpatient clinic to help you to adapt to this condition.
So what you're telling me is that there is something seriously wrong with me, but you won't tell me what it is. On the other hand, simply by looking at me, you can tell that I'm not suffering from angst. But if, God forbid, I should be suffering from angst while I'm sitting alone at home in my apartment, what I have to do is remember to breathe. Sounds to me like you don't care what happens to me at all, just as long as I don't stop breathing on your shift. This just gets better and better and better. Go on. Send me home. Face the consequences. I have 200 pills of soapy clone at home.
We don't have to rush things.
7.5 milligrams.
We don't have to rush things, Christopher. You're upset now. Let's have another talk tomorrow, shall we?
3:30 tomorrow. We'll talk about my diazepam then. And talk to the nurses about my diet, will you? You're my doctor, right?
The answer to your question is sociopath.
What?
Emotionally unstable, narcissistic, antisocial personality disorder combined is called sociopath. Another word for it is psychopath.
You don't treat people here. You don't cure people. You make them sick. I refuse to stay here 1 minute longer.
Are you alright, doctor? Try breathing with your abdomen. It might help. No. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. What was it you wanted to talk with me about? The restaurant and the opera. Tonight. You and me. Now? Oh, I don't know. Thank you very much, Doctor. Sigge, I mean. But, I don't know. I don't really know what to wear. Yes. Okay. See you there. Keep on breathing, Dr. Tom. I have to rush.